Hello and good morning, my crafty creatures. It is Monday. It is November. And I'm not quite sure what to do with myself. Well, I have a general idea. So I worked this weekend and I had a craft fair and I sold one of my baby dragons. I sold the littlest baby dragon, and no regrets. Like this craft fair, no one walked up to me and went, "Why does this cost $200?" Like, it was kind of weird. I didn't hear, I heard that once. I could make this. I heard that once. And I need to be more motivated to make the sign. Yes, you could make this, but will you? Because I think that pisses me off the most. I have full confidence that someone could make anything that I create. Full confidence. A, will you? And B, why the fuck are you looking at my booth if you can make my shit? But I overall I had a really good weekend. I actually made my table feedback, which is something that's my ultimate goal when I do these things. Is I just want to make the money that I put into attending the event. The local ones I don't even take into consideration gas because most of them are within 5 miles. The Lewiston one, which was an hour, 2 hours away, was kind of upsetting because I did use a lot of gas. But I mean, I sold the white and pink butterfly winged baby dragon sold. I have a teal and black one that I just have to get the body all done. And I'm super excited. I'm hoping for tonight that I'll be able to get it done. I spent all weekend training a new person on the busier of the 2 floors in my facility, and it was a disaster. Hot disaster. Yeah. If only, if it ran on that kind of gas, I would be fine, because I have such a high fiber, high protein diet due to my dietary restrictions. I don't have a problem with that kind of gas. I'm a little spicy every day. Hence why I have my beautiful trash panda, I'm going to be the entire problem cup going on today. So, anybody who has ordered and or I have promised presents to, this would be Dragon and Nessie. Nessie, I don't think Nessie hangs out on the stream. She's a local business buddy that I'm trying to slowly lure over to the dark side. And so I have 2 packages going out. But I'm pleased. I got things motivated. You didn't do anything, Dragon. Your stuff, for the shipping I paid for, in theory, everything should be where it's supposed to be by November 7th, rather. Four. Just normal size. Shift. Normal sign size. And I want the "but will you" as sarcastic as you can get in text. Like I don't know. I wanted to ooze sarcasm because that is like the thing that makes me I go to craft fairs and I would honestly buy one thing from every vendor if I could, just to support them. But I can't afford that. So oh, incoming ads in a minute. But both my mother-in-law and I did good at the craft fair on the first. See, I'm having a problem with S today, which is really, really problematic if you guys stop and think about it. She sold one of her lap blankets and some of her dishcloths, and I sold the baby dragon, I sold the fairy dragon, and then I sold a keychain. And while it wasn't as much as I possibly had wanted to sell, it still was a pretty good sit. I'd set up the Friday before because I had that Friday off and it was all fine and dandy. It's nice being able to set up the day before because then I can go in a little later and not have to stress about everything, which is just fantastic. But the lady who was like right next to us, because we got a double space, the lady who was right next to the end of our thing, the event planner allocated 2 feet of walking space, and it was built in. I mean, we had 8x6 spots if you bought a single, and we had a 16x6 spot at the mall where whoops. Ad break. So it's just my subscribers and myself right now. I'm working. I only have 2, like the column I'm working on right now. I only have 20 left over here. Then the page is going to be marked out. So I'm super excited. Okay. Well, I try to stop like talking when my ads are going, so people who are actually listening to what I'm saying can be here. I'm the same way. I have an ad blocker. But so she butted right up against my tables. Like it was hard to tell where her station ended and mine started. So I think I lost a good portion of business because people thought that my stuff was her stuff. And then she had the audacity, and craft fairs are very dramatic. She had the audacity to be like, well, can I walk through you guys' area because I don't have any space to get out? And I was having none of it. And I went, you were given 2 feet in between, because I stayed, of course, being the rule follower that I am, I stopped at my piece of tape. She went over into the walkway because she felt entitled to it. And I went, you were given 2 feet of space. Why? She's like, oh, my thing is just too big. I couldn't. I get it. But at the same time, I'm the kind of person I expand or contract to fit the space that I am allowed. If I hadn't had as much space as I had, I would have not used as much stuff. You don't have to put all your, you don't have to wave all of your bits in the air. Woo! So it was very, very frustrating. And I remember I have to pay attention. I have to pay attention in this area because there's these little flecks that I keep skipping out on. And while in the grand scheme of things, it's not such a huge deal, in my poor little brain, it is huge. Like, I am very considerate. I try to be very considerate of other people and their space for their product. And I couldn't sit near my stuff to talk and interact with people because she just invaded, like, and and I think that's why my mother-in-law started purchasing double spaces, is because she was tired of it too. Is like, her and I, we get along. We're allowed in each other's bubbles and stuff like that. But at the same time, we would be well within our confines of our given booth size, and we would have people in our space because they felt that just because we had like that extra 2 feet of space, and this is a whole nother area. Like, I was at another fair and I was in my booth, and someone else who wasn't me or who was with me was in my booth too, and I'm like, you need to leave. And we were the girl behind us, because I mean it's generally like outside tables and inside empty. And the girl behind us she was like, "Why is that person so close to you guys?" But the 4-day event is, we have a 10 by 20. We have a 20-foot length and 10 feet deep. So I'm super excited about that. I have more than enough stuff. I've been I take stuff out of rotation. I'll show you guys a little later. My hoop art, I do stencil work. Yes, I am super glad that I made back my table fee. That's truly, honestly, do I like making a little bit more? That feeds back into buying materials and stuff like that. Yes, absolutely. No denying that. But I do also like getting at bare minimum the table fee back. But I do stencil art. I take fabric, scraps of fabric from thrift stores and whatnot. Not big enough to do any sort of big project, but I take the scraps, and some scraps I dye, and I practice my tie dyeing and patterns on them, and then I stencil and I make some really cool art. But I've been working on how to secure said art. And I gotta be fair, my process has been very long and trying. I finally found the wonder of contact cement. Sometimes having something to focus on is very, very handy. I, over the course of the weekend, was very, very much tested in my patience and my ability to assess separate of feeling. I have a new person. I've been training for the past couple of weeks. And I have been attempting to give benefit of the doubt. I have given all the tools, I've given all the tips, tricks, and motivation techniques that could help this person succeed. And unfortunately, even though they're a very likable person and they are capable of doing the job on a smaller scale, much smaller scale, I have to sit down and talk with my boss today about this person not being able to handle the workload that comes with the job. I was on the floor that I haven't been on in months. I think it's been almost a year, to be honest. I've not been on this floor in a very long time. And so I add in buffer time due to my lack of lack of knowledge, and lack of the new people. I try to interact and know everybody who's in the facility, but I don't get the interaction as much as I have been getting on the floor that I have been working on. And just we have med windows. Regulation in a facility is we have an hour before and an hour after the set time for the medication. So if someone's getting a med at 8, they can get it as early as 7 or as late as 9. And we have 3 neighborhoods, so it's a 6 to 7, a 7 to 8, and 8 to 9. Each neighborhood has 8 people, and it is more than you. The leeway is more than generous, especially since 4 people in 2 of the neighborhoods have later med windows than what that neighborhood has. So, like, all in all, the big med pass is done by 8:30. Then you have like from 8:30 to 10 to do paperwork. But then 10, you got 4 more people you got to do. And those 4 people it's their sleeping pills. They're our night owls, so it's their ambience and whatnot. So we weren't done getting the meds passed until 10:30, and my shift ends at 10:45. And we didn't have any of the paperwork done. So I spent a good portion of time yesterday and Saturday doing paperwork. And it was very rough on me, and I have to have a big long conversation with my boss about this today, and I'm not looking forward to it. But I have to be objective. I cannot have a worker who all of my other coworkers have to support because they can't keep up with their job. And after 3 weeks, you should at least be kind of in the squeaky, in the broad med window, mind you. I've been giving you guys like the broad times. Honestly, I am done downstairs, which is where I'm not generally allowed. I'm done downstairs, save for the 4 outliers, by 8. Sometimes a little later, but generally by 8:15, done. And then I have from 8:15 to 9 to get stuff done, and then 9:15 to 10 to get stuff done. And I have plenty of talking room, I have plenty of laughing room. So when I say that I've been giving lots of buffer time, I've been giving lots of buffer time, and I have to be objective, and it's really, really rough. Because I like to see what people I can see that this new trainee has the potential. I can see that they have the potential. But that's not good enough. You have to be able to actually show that you are wanting to do it. And that is very hard for me to sit here and accept. But I can't control what other people do with their potential. And I do have therapy this week, by the way. Funny enough, I have therapy this week, and I certainly need it. I scared everybody away. Not gonna lie, I kind of like the evil laughter. I didn't even mark out like this block of 10, uh, just because of all the openings that it had. I didn't go down to the 10. Whoops. I think I'm at 5. We got 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're at 5. So 5. This is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. I get to do 8. Skip one. There's something going on. Oh my goodness. Doopy-doo. So with selling one of the big with with one of the showstoppers, I should say. With selling that one, I'm going to be making another one. Let's see. So la 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 la. I'm going to be making another meadow dragon, because I like their shape. They're chunky, but they're not super chunky. But this one is going to be sitting up on its hind legs and have both of its front feet. It's going to be begging, essentially. It's going to be up on its hind legs, maybe even perching so it can like look up over a table, kind of thing. That's the next pose that I'm going to do, and I'm going to have moon eyes. So, in the moon eyes, they have the white pupil instead of the black one. So I gotta think about some colors to go with that, and make sure I have enough yarn with said colors. And I'm getting better at the butterfly wings because I'm trusting my crochet skills a little bit more. When I first bought some of Megan, like some of the first meadow dragons that went out there to all the friends across the places, that I've gotten better. All I gotta say, like the ones that went out weren't bad, but I've gotten better. And And so it's I think it's gonna. I'm really considering um a sparkle white and sport yarn, which was the one that I sold was in baby, and it's called. People need to universalize what they call it. It's the sport yarn. It's the thinner yarn that's lighter. It's not the worsted weight. But it's called baby yarn, sock yarn, sport yarn. It's a lighter weight. Um, and I'm thinking about doing that because I have a whole ton of I have a whole ton of that in white sparkle, and then having the accent color. I'm looking at it right now. It's like a mint green, and then having like a darker blue for the secondary accent, and seeing where I go from there. Okay, 3 lines of solid back and forth. And the instead of having, because one of the options I can have is like taking the yarn and making it fuzzy, and I'm gonna do that with this one and just experiment, have like a little bit more poof. But the first one I need to get all put together is the Luna Moth, the Luna Moth fairy dragon. Um, Not fully Luna Moth because it's mostly black. And dragon, I saw that you were fighting with black yarn, and big round circle. I gotta be honest, and I'm gonna catch some hate. I actually like working with black yarn. Um, Sometimes it can be difficult, but since I do a lot with feel, it makes it a little easier. And it's not that, like, I have trouble explaining how why my vision is bad, and how I'm stuck on the floor. Oh my goodness. And how, like, it doesn't matter, like, really, like, yes, absolutely, white and lighter colors are easier to work with. I can clearly see my stitches. But I also do a lot of work and feel with my hands. So that's how I deal with a lot of the harder aspects of working with black. Oh my goodness. I got me a knot. Oh well. I have plenty of black. I can live with that not being in existence. Yeah, and it's coming to the end of the year. I know it's kind of scary to think about because God, what a year it's been. Like, oh my God. Uh it is coming to the end of the year. And a lot of like next year's stitch alongs are coming out for like cross stitch and whatnot. And I've never participated in a stitch along, mostly because I I don't need it. No, 2 knots is too much. 1 knot is barely tolerable. 2 knots is no. Um, and don't get me wrong, some of them are absolutely gorgeous, but at the same time, I can barely keep track of my own existence. And another part of me is like, you don't tell me what to do. Uh, uh, so there's a lot of conflict. Like I would love to participate in a stitch along, but at the same time, I know myself well enough that ain't gonna happen, sugar pop. So, but I encourage people join the online community group things, like because they're a lot of fun. They are. Uh, I think the mail truck is here to take the critters away. I still have to get the fabric for the frog. For the frog cross stitch. I told a friend I'd do. Maybe I'll bring that to work today. Is I'll bring the frog to work and see if I can get that done. I have a lot of other work that I was over here going, oh yeah, I got 3 straight lines, and then I gotta pay attention again, and then I was like, but that's the bottom of the square, and then I look back, and yes, it is the bottom of the square. I'm actually working and doing things correctly. I have very, very opinionated dogs today. They're out in the hallway grunting and groaning because they're being Actually, I think Pixie's dreaming. So Halloween was very uneventful here. Okay, I'm gonna put myself on mute for 1 second. I just got a message, so I'm gonna be right back. It's rough being the raw. That was my mother-in-law. She went to our to scope out our spot for the next the next 2 weeks, next 4 weekend days. Um, and apparently we have a spot with shelves, and it I don't even know what that was. Someone got scared. One of the dogs scared the other dog. But that's kind of exciting. She called to inform me of the bathroom situation. She's like, "There's no bathrooms nearby." I'm like, "That's a you thing, chickaboo." um, but because I get mine given, I'll have to use the bathroom at some point, and I get that. But I when I'm doing craft fairs, I very rarely leave the spot unless it's like an absolute emergency. Because most of the craft fairs I do, I am on my own, um, and I don't have. I make friends easy. Trust me, I make friends great, and I'll be like, "Hey, yo, if people come looking, I'll be right back." But so, oh, my life is just busy this month. No, you guys are fine. No. Oh, you're fine. No, you guys are. The dogs are abused. Cesar says he's abused. Pixie's wearing my critter cover. All the dogs are abused here. Here at the creature house, the dogs are abused. Look at how abused they are. I know it. I know. Do you need to be in my lap? Do you need the real snuggles? Do you need the snuggles? You do. You do need the snuggles. Okay, we'll give the snuggles. We'll give the real snuggles. Oh, we got the snuggles. Oh, it's snuggles. I don't need face lick. That gross. I know where you're. I know what you lick. Okay, off. There. Cute puppet time for anyone paying attention. Row 9. And then I have to count, skip some stuff, and that wasn't even in any holes. I have so many questions right now. None of them will have answers, but I do have questions. Okay. I just whiffed on like 4 holes. I'm sitting here, I'm staring at the 8 o'clock because, mind you, I have a loom that I could, in theory, make 8 o'clock. And I'm sitting here and I'm going, I could make this stuff. And I even have all the tools. Like, I wouldn't have to, I would just have to buy the thread, which would be a ridiculous amount of thread, don't get me wrong, to weave it into. That's kind of scary to think about how much thread it takes to make just this fabric, but I guess I guess with any fabric that's something that you got to think about. Mhm. So the mail truck has come and gone. They have picked up the packages. I'll text you a tracking number, Dragon, so you can stock it online. Mhm. And also just a fun thing to keep you motivated. It is still the start of the month. Take a picture of your works in progress for the beginning of the month, and no matter how little you work on them, at the end of the month, take another picture and compare the two. I I love doing this because even if I feel I haven't gotten a whole lot done, I can go back and I can look at the beginning of the month and I can look at the current progress and I can see what I've actually gotten done. And sometimes it blows my mind how much I've actually accomplished, even though I don't think I have. So, trick your brain. Your brain lies to you. Your your brain likes to lie to you and say bad things. Believe the good things your brain tells you about you. But when it starts lying its ugly little ass off, that's when you ignore it. Okay. I am on the last row of this block of 200. No, it's not a full 200 because of all the skippy doos that I have to do. It is a block of 200 less that I have to work on. And it's funny. So after this column that I'm working on is all done, the final stretch of black is not a full 20 stitches across. It actually starts out like the full 20 and then it tapers down to less than 10. So, okay. We're gonna have 7. Um, 2, 3. 7. Skip 1 and to the end. So today after stream, I'm gonna make myself some dinner. I'm gonna have to actually do some cooking this week because the menu at work just sucks ass. Like most of it is stuff I either have no interest in, or it's filled with gluten and I can't eat it. So uh, I will be cooking. I will be cooking this. But I gotta load up the dishwasher because it's full. The sink is full of dirty dishes. Run some dishwasher action. Do some magic cooking, and then I have time to sit and crochet the baby dragon body. Woohoo! Okay. Gonna go down another 10. That, this empty spot right there actually helps me count to 10. Okay. Now I gotta still pay attention because there's lots of little empty popcorn spots. Okay, so 6. Skip 1. All the way to the end. I'm gonna play with my new microphones today. I'm gonna I'm gonna upload a TikTok video. What about? I don't know yet. But I'm gonna play with my cuff, my new microphones that I got. These ones I actually bought new. Really? See if I can at least get to the end. Oh, God damn it. Got over enthusiastic and missed a spot I should have skipped. Now I gotta pull stitches. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, so open spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. La la. That's 4, 5, 1, and then 2. Let's see if I actually have enough string. I probably don't, but that's I have more than enough black. Can I thread chicken 3 stitches? That's all I need. There, I did it. So I'm gonna go until I either hit the end of this block of 200 or noon hits, whichever comes first. I will reach my block color goal of 400. When I'm doing the block colors, every stream I have a goal of 400. Just because it's block color, I should have no problem getting to 400. And we are, in fact, almost done with black for a little bit, till the next page. But, fair warning, lower down in Divine Instinct here, we're going to have pages that are simply the entire page is just 939. All of it. And I have been dreading those pages since I looked at this pattern. And while they will absolutely go incredibly fast, they're gonna be incredibly boring. No, I totally whiffed there. There we go. There. Really? Seriously. Wow. I'm a special snowflake today, folks. If you encounter me in the wild, run. But today I'm working carts, so that'll be a little easier. Two lines of back and forth. No stop. Oh my goodness. Mhm. I'm doing great, Feature. How are you? Mhm. Mhm. this line to pay attention to. It's only for one skippy stitch. And then it's solid back and forth till the very last line. Okay. And as much as you see me eat, like, being mouthy with all this thread, it does get washed and dry cleaned before it goes to anybody. Woohoo! Go, go, progress, power. Okay, so I'm gonna do 2, skip 1, and then all the way. I need to do a little bit of Google foo. I want my next meadow dragon to have the ball and socket joints for its skeleton. I'm trying to upgrade from wire. Don't get me wrong, wire has its purposes in some designs. But I want my big dragons to have better articulation. So I'm gonna be on a, and I know where to get them if I want small quantities. But those of you who have any of my dragons, any of the Megan lap dragons, now the little baby dragons, they're relatively small. I'm not sure if I want to do the full swap over to the articulated wings with them, but the answer is probably, just because I want to have a higher grade product. And so I need to do some Google foo and find out where I can get wholesale they're essentially 3D printed ball and socket joints. But I also need little ones for the wings. Like, I need big ones for the big skeletons, and then I need little ones for the wings. So it's gonna be fun. But yeah, so I reached a point where I'm not unloading my car this week. I'm driving around. My car is staying fully packed. I do have to add a couple things into it for Friday. And okay, so this week's stream, every day will be normal except for Friday. Friday I will not be streaming because I will be prepping to go set up for my 2-weekend craft fair. So I will be, and mind you, yeah, the doors don't open till noon, but I'm gonna leave my house at about 11:30, 11:45 to get there for noon, so I have as much time as I can to set up, because I have to go to work later on. So I'm gonna set up as much as I can before, like, from like noon to 2, that whole 2 hours, I'm gonna set up as much as I can, and then I gotta go to work. So, and then I have a whole weekend of craft fair. But yeah, this entire month I have the days off during the week that I have, but all of my weekends are filled with either craft fairs or working, or both. Fortunately, the both one is happened on the 1st and on the 15th. Those are the only 2 days that I both am doing a craft fair and working. I love that it's a bright sunny day today because all of my solar panels for my cameras are active and working properly. It's kind of chilly, but it's not too chilly for the solar panels. I have a whole pile of chores that I need to get done. And I'm a little anxious about them, but at the same time I just gotta power through because I can do this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I got 3 lines of 20 left, and then 1 line of 19. Oh, 18. There's a gap in it. Mhm. So for the new year, I've been pondering, and I'll post options in the Discord server, because it feels that sometimes I don't balance out my projects good enough, and I know a lot of this is a me thing, but at the same time, I'm thinking for next year, I'm gonna do an every other week kind of thing, where one week I'll have Divine Instinct up on the rack, and then on the other week I'll have Call Dance up, just to kind of balance it out a little more. Hours wise, they both have the same hours, but I don't always stream on all of those days, so it just it's a little lopsided, and I want a little bit more progress in the next year. Like, I'm gonna hit. There's a very good chance I'm gonna hit 10% on Divine Instinct before the end of the year, which is is a good goal. I haven't even hit 5% on Call Dance yet. He's twice the size. Don't get me wrong. I understand. Call Dance is twice the size as Divine Instinct. Um, but I want to make a little bit more progress on him. Morbid curiosity is part of it. Um, but I'm pondering not necessarily format changes, just scheduling changes for the project, and I'm just trying to balance it out, bounce off ideas and whatnot. And my schedule may be changing again. Like, I know I know my schedule changed to I now have Wednesday off instead of Tuesday, and it used to be that I had Monday off and honestly, I think I'm gonna reach the end of the block and the end of the stream around the same time, which I've really gotten good about timing my stitches and including my talk time in that timing of the stitches. you. Okay, got 3 more lines. So excited! I'm getting close to the imaginary goal that I set myself for today. Well, the goal isn't imaginary, but the imaginary finish line for myself today. Because I finished up the column I was working on last week before I hopped on because it was like 5 lines. Like I really didn't finish this, really, but okay. Last full line. hyper focused. Gotta get these stitches. Gotta get them all. I messed up. Made a very long stitch that I shouldn't have. Here. One more line. Okay. I lied. I gotta get over to the end of this line and then one more. Mm. Mm-hmm. Okay. This is the last row. Last row before I'm done for the day. Skip one. Okay. Then I'll get some mad stats because I've cranked some numbers. Hello, Jules. You're catching me on the last line. I'm doing the the last bit and then tossing out the numbers. It's all good. I gotta say, fall back does a number on my sugars because no matter how hard you try, as I'm very controlled on when I get my food. Um, Fall back um, messes with my sugars and my clock enough that I just for the first couple days of into the fallback, and I know not everybody has fallback. But at least for me, for the first few days of fallback, I say fuck it to whatever my sugar level is. I do try to keep it kind of under control, but because my body is so lost as to what time it is, and food and stuff like that, I just let it roll until I get used to the time. Okay. So started out today at 9.04. 9.04. Let me look at my opener. 9.04%. We got done 434 stitches today, bringing us up to 9.19%. I firmly believe that before the end of the year, we will hit 10%, which is fantastic. I'm super excited about that. A percent on this cross stitch is 2,600 stitches, and if I can get 400 a stream done, it's really, really feasible. Sorry, my computer slash house has been making noises. Ugh. So, goal for end of year for Divine is 10%. We can do it. Yes, we can. I don't really have I don't know where to set a goal for call dance, and that's why I'm thinking about switching formats or project balancing, as it were. Like a week on, a week off is where I'm kind of leaning. Same stream hours because I've really gotten into the groove of my stream times. Save for my existence, like my life likes to be crazy. Once I think I'm settled and I'm in a routine and good things are happening, my life likes to go crazy. So that's why I'm not like being like, oh yeah, totally gonna do this, because I can't make that promise. But I like what I currently have in place for my stream hours. Um, and so I'm thinking about in the new year doing a week of divine, a week of call dance, a week of divine, a week of call dance, that kind of thing. To get some, honestly, to get some real progress going on call dance. Divine Instinct has a lot of block color, so I'm getting some major progress done there. But, okay, so everybody, thank you for the gift of your time. Remember, drink your water, take your meds. There's a weird sound outside my house somewhere. Be kind to yourself without harming others. Be kind to others without harming yourself. I will be back tomorrow, 10 to noon. I love you all, and I'll see you on the flip side.